Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is May the 30th, 2019. What does this shirt say? Strong hand. Long-term thinking, offended by selling. This is where the big boys play. This game is not rigged. Be a unique beast. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Don't FOMO on alts. All right. If you have questions in the chat, if you're watching this live, you got to type in Bitcoin Meister. It'll turn a different color. I will see it. I notice a lot of people write Adam or something else. I don't see that until after the show. You got to type in Bitcoin Meister, all one long word, if you want your questions answered. Thank you very much. All right. And tomorrow is This Week in Bitcoin at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That is 10 a.m. in Los Angeles and 6 p.m. in London tomorrow. And Vortex will be on the show. Nima will be on the show. He's been on the show before, a great guest. And a mystery third guest will be on the show I'm working on. Yes. Okay. Over-the-counter hype. OTC hype. There's all sorts of Bitcoin OTC hype out there, I think. You got to be calm, people. You know, sometimes you can get way too excited about good news either. Good news also. I don't know what I came to talk. Pound that like button. Okay. So I've seen no proof of the following, but here is an article from Forbes. Now, I think Billy Bambro wrote this article, and how billionaires are buying up Bitcoin. And this is about a supposed OTC desk, okay? One of our clients approached us and said they were interested in acquiring 25% of all Bitcoin currently available. Dadiani said, there are a number of entities who want to dominate the market. Now, that is a huge claim. This OTC desk, maybe they're just saying it to bring customers in or to get them a lot of attention, because this is definitely getting them a lot of attention. Someone wanted to buy 4 million Bitcoin, over 4 million Bitcoin, okay? That's what they came to this person and said, I want a quarter of the market. Now, if that actually happened, if someone were able to do that somehow, they couldn't just do it at one trading desk. They would have to go on to exchanges. The price of Bitcoin would skyrocket incredibly. It would be like nothing we've ever seen before. And everyone loves a story like this, okay? I find it very hard to believe. I find it hard to believe that it's 100% true, at least. You shouldn't get that excited about it. I have seen so little proof that everyone talk OTC, you got to go OTC. I have seen so little proof that any OTC exists, any. and so this is the other side of the spectrum, that like, oh, so someone has the ability to, that they're bold enough to go to an OTC desk and want a quarter of all Bitcoin in existence. What I have seen since April the 1st, and I think maybe some people will agree with me, is we have seen price spikes that have clearly coincided with large purchases on exchanges, which means that people who really want Bitcoin aren't going to these magical mystery tour OTC desks that kind of might exist, like to promote themselves so they get customers exist. They're actually going to exchanges and buying large quantities of it. And that, then we get a public taste of what they're willing to pay, and the price goes up in terms of fiat. We shall see. I'm just saying, stories like this are great. They make you feel good, but don't get carried away in this OTC hype. Here's a tweet. And this person uses the term dynastic elite. Again, that makes you seem envious and scapegoaty here. Anyone can buy Bitcoin. We should be happy that the dynastic elite, I'm tired of this dynastic elite. We control our own destiny. Don't blame it on, and this person isn't directly blaming it on the elite, but it gets at me. It pokes at me a little bit when people just talk about the elite, the dynastic elite. Oh, the cause of all our troubles. No. Well, here we go. Here's the tweet. Apparently huge bidding war among dynastic elites who can't even get 10% of the OTC Bitcoin buy orders filled. Only a matter of time until market reflects a true price discovery, which will explode. All no coiner heads cause Bitcoin value is far above every $1 million projection. Okay, dude, this guy provides no proof of this at all. None whatsoever. I don't know where he's getting this. I'm glad the guy's excited, but where his proof that these so-called elites can't get 10% of what they want on OTC, and that Bitcoin will, every $1 million projection is it's far above it. The value right now is far above every $1 million projection. I don't know. I need proof that these OTC counters even exist. Okay. And I've seen very little proof of that at all. Again, and I know people love to retweet stuff like that. You can't get too carried away. What I will say is that, yeah, in terms of fiat, the Bitcoin price in the future will be a lot more. When will it happen? Are there magical mystery tour OTC desks right now? I don't know. You got to have a strong hand. And I don't want people to be disappointed when the great revelation of the OTC desk elites doesn't happen. Because it's not going to happen anytime soon, probably. That it'll be, oh, this is what's really been going on the OTC markets. The richest men in the world they couldn't get their hands on Bitcoin, and there's no Bitcoin available, and it's now worth $2 million. Don't hold your breath for that one. Again, that would be great. I would love it. I would love it if someone really bought a quarter of all the Bitcoin in existence. It would be great, but don't get too carried away. And again, I am the biggest Bitcoin fan on earth, but I got to keep it realistic for the people out there. I got to keep it realistic, and I can't make these clickbaity predictions and clickbaity statements that are possibly based on complete nothingness. All right, what I can do and what I did do is buy Bitcoin. Okay, I knew that something great would be happening in the future, so instead of getting so excited about all these tweets and doing nothing, I bought Bitcoin. So there you go. Practice what you preach there, Meister. So yesterday's show was watched by the great McCook in Sydney, Australia, who I will meet in person when I am in Sydney, October 17th to the 24th. And then I will be in Adelaide, October 24th to November 26th. And I'm obviously already looking very much forward to it. But Haas heard me say, well, what percent of the days of Bitcoin's existence has it been worth over $10,000? The dude comes out with a chart, a tweet, and then comes up with another chart and a tweet showing the great numbers, showing how early we are in this, okay? In the 3,798 days that Bitcoin has been alive, here are how many days it's been over certain prices. Over $1, 2,977 days. Over $10, 2,547 days. Over $100, 2,205 days. Over $1,000, only 848 days. Over $5,000, 458 days, so a little bit over a year. Over $10,000, only 80 days. More details in the picture, which again, it's linked to, all this is linked to below. Everything I talked to is linked to below. Pound that like button. 12.1% of all the days of his existence, it's been over $5,000. 2.11% days over $10,000. So that's not many days. 0.68% of the days that Bitcoin has existed, it's been over 15K. 0.13% over 17.5K. So we will one day look back on this and say, wow, Bitcoin was only 0.68% of its days in existence. It was only over 15K, because in the future, it'll always be over 15K and it'll always be over 16K. Again, that's for you fiat freaks out there. Haas, in his updated graphic history, says 2.9% of its life, Bitcoin has been over $9,000, which is not very long at all. And he actually tweeted that out before today's pump. He picked that number on his own, and it is quite funny that a little later on this very roller coaster a day for all you fiat freaks out there, that, yeah, it was another day that it was over $9,000. But again, days like this, there's only been 2.95% days like this in the history of Bitcoin so far. And that just puts in perspective how early this is. And yeah, volatility is it seems like it's back again. And but did the volatility, what caused today's volatility? Some people think there was a Binance started margin trading today. I linked to something that talks about that. I don't really care about the why behind it. As I've said to people, we have wild roller coaster days like this all the time. Bitcoin could go up by $400 in an hour and then drop to $500 in 2 seconds later. All right. So UK Bitcoin Master says, Bitcoin Meister, I'm addicted to your shows. Dude, Brian, pound that like button. Check out his show from earlier today where he interviewed Jeff Vandrew. And out of courtesy for Brian, because I got courtesy for my people, I made sure I did this show after his show was over. Respect, brother. Pound that like button. All right. Now, and check him out. I didn't link to his show below, but look up UK Bitcoin Master. Watch all his darn shows. And he's got good guests, baby. He knows what makes a good guest. So what else do we have here? Oh, yeah, my reminder to everyone, the public service announcement I'm doing every single day. Crypto dividends. You get crypto dividends when you hold your Bitcoin, when you properly hold your Bitcoin. And again, this is a little known fact about Bitcoin that people will not talk about for some reason. If you hold because again, there's a lot of people that want you to give them their Bitcoin, your Bitcoin, and for them to do things with your Bitcoin, and maybe they'll give you a little something for it, or maybe they'll lose your Bitcoin. Again, you control your own Bitcoin. You won't lose your Bitcoin, and you'll get interest on your Bitcoin by claiming the crypto dividends. Okay, and we've had plenty of shows about that in the past. So Bitcoin Meister, that's so kind, dude. Dude, Brian, you are a kind man. Happy birthday, by the way. It was Brian's birthday recently. We should all be have a happy birthday too when we have a birthday, and wish him a happy birthday. Moving on, again, that's your public service announcement. It is insider info. It's inside. You get all sorts of supposed insider info here. It shouldn't be insider info that crypto dividends exist, but hey, most people are just happy with their clickbait titles, talking about ridiculous things, trying to say $1 million now, $1 million tomorrow, blah 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 blah. All right. So speaking about ridiculous things in the crypto space, you're saying BSV is the next Bitcoin. Oh, God, I almost barfed. Again, Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. But again, there's some people that are just totally confused individuals, and they've drank the Kool-Aid. They like Jim Jones, and they believe what Jim Jones says, that BSV is the next, I can't even say it. Because it's not. It's just an altcoin. It's a freak coin. Now, here's the thing. I said, BSV is having their gathering in Toronto today, where I know all the Canadians are all of a sudden NBA fans. And and I said it would pump. Of course, it's centralized. But there was another pump late last night. And I was like, well, why did this one now happen? Nothing's even going on. Well, linked to below, you can see that billionaire Calvin got it. He was on Bloomberg. Bloomberg interviewed him, put him. This guy they put on supposedly legitimate TV, and he's saying how BSV is so great. So a lot of people pumped it up to $250 freaking dollars. It was, and again, I don't value my altcoins in anything. I look at the Bitcoin price. It was worth about 3% of a Bitcoin suddenly. And once people they saw this video apparently, and I maybe this wasn't the main reason, but this had to be definitely part of it when Bloomberg gives you free publicity. But what I found fascinating about it is that rebel gambler billionaire Calvin, he straight up says he likes regulation. He wants regulation. Oh wow, what a guy! And again, this is where the big boys play. So if you can say things like this in this space if you want to, but I can just say how ridiculous that is. We're compliant. The word compliance. Oh, it makes me barf. He wants to be a compliant coin. Compliant. I mean, it's like follow the leader. I mean, again, that's what being in a cult is about. Being compliant. drinking the Kool-Aid, following Jim Jones. And again, he knows what the truth is. He probably wants it to pump. He wants suckers to buy it. And sure enough, it didn't stay 3% for long. Alistair Milne actually tweeted out an interesting chart that shows someone just dumped 25,000 BSV at market on Bitfinex. So someone had enough of it. Someone wanted their 3% on their 3%, and they got it. So good for them. They dumped it. And hey, again, it is crazy that that people bought into this thing. And again, there will be days that it pumps again. They'll think of some other gimmick, some other copyright, some other thing. It's very centralized. It's amazing. It just baffles my mind that people believe it. And hey, give them credit. They convinced Bloomberg to put him on there. When you're centralized and you have a leader, you can do things like that. And when you have two leaders or a big funder, he's the big funder. He actually has money, Calvin. He is a real billionaire, as opposed to Jim Jones, fake Toshi, who has, he's just a bum, basically. He's a con man that just makes up, leeches on the people like that. And Terror Bear says, Bitcoin Meister, thank you for the consistent content. That's all. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate a new show every day, Terror Bear. Terror Bear, seriously. I'm glad when people notice that. It's every day. Conviction. I've got the conviction, strong hand. Spectimer Agendo says, Bitcoin Meister, do you expect any relevant pullback on Bitcoin? My goal is to acquire no less than 25 Bitcoin before the run. I'm going to put it in perspective. Again, I've told this story before. There was times when I was buying Bitcoin and I was, I'm not going to buy it. These 10 more Bitcoin I'm going to buy when it hits 770, and it never hit 770. It hit 780. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, that was insane. So there will be a time when you look back and say, what was the difference between 8,000 and 6,000? So, could it go back to 6,000? Sure, it could go back to 6,000. Sure. I can't make predictions like that. It's very unpredictable. Today it went to $9,000. That was pretty unpredictable. Maybe it'll never go back to 7,000 again. But the point is that one day you're going to look and be like, what? There was a difference between 8,000 and 6,000. So I know you want to get it for as cheap as possible, but don't worry too much about the fiat price. What I like about, you've got a goal. You want 25 Bitcoin. So just try to get 25 Bitcoin. You're valuing your wealth in Bitcoin. Don't worry too much about the fiat price. You never know what's going to happen in this game. All right. And Brian actually said, I can reveal this. I know how he said it was the big 60. He had his 60th birthday. So he said it. He put it in the chat. So I'm putting it out there. Thanks, guys, for all the questions, by the way. Keep on throwing them out there. I got my eye on the chat when I see that orange thing pop up there. All right. Adam, again, more news about the boxer, the future heavyweight champion of the world. Hopefully he is. Adam Kwanaki. Again, watch yesterday's show. I talk about he's probably ranked like number 8, number 7 in the world, heavyweight boxer. He will hopefully get he'll get a title shot one day. He actually watched this video because he pinned the tweet on his Twitter account. You can check him out. I linked to him below. So he says, well, first of all, I think he should ask for his next payday in Bitcoin. That would force a large entity to buy up a lot of Bitcoin. It would create a huge news story for Bitcoin too. So it would pump this. It would pump it through marketing. It would pump it through someone buying a lot of it. That having debate. He should say, yeah, I'll take half. I'll take 3/4 of my usual payday. I'm not gonna put words in his mouth, but it's a suggestion here. Take 3/4 or a half of your usual payday. Say you get me in Bitcoin, I'll take it that way. And the story alone might pump it back to back to what he would have earned anyway. Who knows? It would be a huge story. And again, the entity that pays him would have to buy a lot of Bitcoin. The guy gets paid, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars a fight. Someone that would all of a sudden have to buy $1 million worth of Bitcoin, that could make a difference, man. It would be quite a story. But he replied to some of the some of the suggestions out there. He says, I have a better idea. I have a fight coming up soon. Let's have Bitcoin sponsor me. here's my Bitcoin address. And people sent him some Bitcoin. People sent him some Bitcoin. So again, that's one way you can, Bitcoin can sponsor him if you send the Bitcoin to his Bitcoin address. That's a story too. It's not as big of a story as if he took all of his, he took his next payday in Bitcoin. So let us wish him luck, since he is if he becomes a heavyweight champion of the world, he will, it'll be good for Bitcoin. He's a huge fan of Bitcoin. He's got a Casa node and everything like that. All right. Roman Q said, Bitcoin Meister, don't listen to traders and hot chicks with fancy sets and graphics. Tomorrow, Bitcoin could be $1,000 or $1 million. Nobody knows the best time to buy it now. Yeah. You know, I was speaking about hot chicks and magical charts. I ran, when I was on Santa Monica Boulevard the other day, I ran by the fortune teller. So the fortune teller usually isn't a hot chick, but the fortune tellers remind me of these TA. I mean, it's reading. It's a palm reader. It's a palm read. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. Some of the TA out there. I mean, there might be some logical reasons behind it, but it's nothing to get upset. Don't worry about it. Value your wealth in Bitcoin, long-term thinking. Most of the TA is palm reading, though. Most of it is definitely palm reading. And yeah. So sorry, fortune tellers. You're notoriously not hot. They usually got warts on their noses, right? I mean, I guess that's the caricature of the palm reader. All right, you know, I'm in the Bitcoin overlay, so I could say politically incorrect things like that. I mean, and that is, for me, you know, there's some people try to start drama in Bitcoin now about, oh, what can you say? Oh, we need diversity and all that. The point of Bitcoin, for me, when you know you're in Bitcoin, when you can just say whatever the heck you want and all that stuff just bounces off of you. Yeah, so yeah, say I'm not politically correct. You can't fire me. I've got Bitcoin. You can't take it from me. So yeah, okay. And we talked about the boxer, and what else do we have here? Okay, we're gonna talk about South Africa in a second. I want to. Chris BTC said, "What is your opinion on coin mixing? Is it worth cycling cold storage coins through Wasabi Wallet?" It's something to try. It's something to try. I mean, it's try a little bit at least. It's something. I don't have Wasabi Wallet. I'm very curious about it. Very curious about it. So I think it's something. If you got it, I mean, try it with some of your. I mean, I'm not going to recommend this to beginners, but once you get the hang of it, and once you understand what privacy really is about, and you know, kind of go back in time and say, well, I wasn't very private then. You should start to consider it and start to experiment with it. So I'm very curious about it. So very good question, Chris BTC. The Halving Show sends 20 Norwegian krona. What's up in Norway, dude? What does it cost with months of Airbnb? Recommend? So yeah, I know. I recommend Airbnb seriously. I will say this: the United States has, through taxes, especially the state of California, has made Airbnb not so cheap. Australia, there are great deals on Airbnb. It is cheaper for me to stay in Sydney than it is in Los Angeles. It's ridiculous. And so the longer I stay in a place like Sydney, and you know, obviously the plane ticket is more. It's Americans. I mean, you should go to Australia, and so some countries are cheaper than others. And I would say in your country of Norway, dude, there's a big difference between Bergen and Oslo. Oslo is a lot more expensive than Bergen. There were better deals, at least last year. I'll tell you that Bergen was. And again, Norway is not that cheap. I think Bergen is cheaper than Los Angeles, though. I think again, cheapest place for Airbnb that I've ever been to is Johannesburg. Oh my God, what a pleasure! Oh, what a pleasure! You can anyone could live with that. That should be your. And again, you know, there's some, you know, the security issues in South Africa. You got to know what you're doing there. But if you're like from Baltimore and everything like I am, you can deal. All right, that was a little tangent there, but this is. It has to do with Bitcoin, because people ask me, well, how don't you spend any of your Bitcoin? You travel all around. Well, I get good deals. Airbnb, you could get, and again, I have some, and I save fiat. So again, it's about, and again, I don't go out to dinner. I don't I don't get coffee. Again, I'm running in LA, right around Highland, south of Santa Monica. There is a Starbucks. Someone look it up. It's a few blocks south of Santa Monica on Highland. A Starbucks. It's 9 a.m. People should already be at work. There is a huge car line at the Starbucks. It's going out onto the street. There's so many people in line. So they are burning gas. They are getting Starbucks. They're not working. They're not getting paid. It just baffles. And then they're the same people that say, "Oh, I don't have any money. I have no savings. Bail me out. AOC, get rid of my college debt." Blah blah blah. Blah. Dude, why are you in the middle of the day? You're buying at the beginning of the day. You're guzzling gas, and gas costs a lot in California. And you're trying to get a Starbucks. It is. Everyone falls for it. What 80%ers? It's unbelievable. It isn't that hard to do what I do. You just have to have the will. You just have to have the conviction. People are addicted to fitting in and ridiculous things. Really, it's sad. And I'm glad you jarred my memory. I've seen it twice now at that Starbucks running by there. And they're sitting, getting fatter, and I'm running, spending no money, getting healthier. I mean, I'm in a completely opposite world. Bitcoin overlay. All right. Do you prefer Super Chat or do you have a Venmo? I don't have a Venmo, so I prefer Super Chat. I mean, again, you don't have to donate. It's fine. It's fine. I don't need it. I don't need it. I appreciate the support. I love it, but yeah. All right. Whoo. And okay, moving on. What is this? So yeah, I brought up Johannesburg, South Africa. Here's an article. South Africa people, and by the way, we've been talking about South Africa on the show since 2015, since I visited South Africa for the first time. So people like the great JC, they've prepared themselves. Okay, they've lived in South Africa for so many years. They've seen the rand lose value many times. South Africans in the know. You have little excuse that you hadn't already gotten the Bitcoin back in 2015 when I was at the first Bitcoin conference that was there. That was in Cape Town that year, actually. So, I mean, I love the people of South Africa. It's still early, but dudes, you're going to keep on getting stories like this. And here's the story. Johannesburg, their top 40 stock index in South Africa slumped 7.3% this month as of Tuesday's close. Currently, it's on track to be its worst performance in the past 20 years. So stock market, of course, is tanking in South Africa because international investors don't have confidence in the reckless government over there. You can't blame them. The rand loses value. There's threats of confiscation of land. So they're going toward this ridiculous authoritarian you don't know what your possession really is type of system. But again, the way and so the article also mentions that the local Bitcoin volume is going up. Good. The people should have prepared a while ago. You cannot value your wealth in rand there. You cannot value your wealth in South African property. You cannot value your wealth in South African stocks. Value it in Bitcoin, South Africans. So, I mean, you still have, it's only going to get worse, dude. It's only this. And again, you've seen it before. It's inflated. All your wealth has been inflated away numerous times, slowly but surely. And now use it as insurance. It's a way to, get out of the system there. Why anyone? And again, you got your wealth in Bitcoin. Everything else is pretty darn cheap there. To feed yourself, it's amazingly cheap to feed yourself in Johannesburg. And Bitcoin Primitive said, Bitcoin Meister, I don't need a lot of stuff. Darn grateful. And that, again, yeah, who needs a lot of stuff? That's all about fitting in, and fitting in is overrated. Hey, Just Sat sent $4.99 in the super chat. Thank you, man. Stay in motion, Adam. Heck yeah, baby, I'm staying in motion. You better believe it. I got that conviction, brother. All right, Roman Q says, Bitcoin Meister, if we activate the hyper Bitcoinization and people only accept Bitcoin for goods and services, how hard will it be mentally to spend precious Bitcoin? Well, I don't believe that is going to happen. I am not a hyper Bitcoinization guy. I know Anders was on the show. What was it, 2 weeks ago? You should watch that This Week in Bitcoin. That's his big thing, man. He loves the hyper, and people love when he talks about that. But no, if that actually happened, it wouldn't be very hard mentally to spend precious Bitcoin, because that's all you could spend. So if there was hyper Bitcoinization, it would ease the mind about selling. I mean, that would be the unit of account. That's what you'd have to spend. So it wouldn't be that bad. It's in the current situation that we're in right now, where there's nowhere even close to hyper Bitcoinization, nowhere even close to dollar hyperinflation, nowhere even close for that people even that coffee places even accept Bitcoin. So it's very difficult to wrap my mind around giving up my precious Bitcoin for anything right this second in terms of small purchases. And so offended by selling still. Pound that like button. All right. And Titan Boss actually said offended by selling right around the time I just said it. I didn't see you say that, but we were thinking the same thing. Okay, let's keep on moving on here. It's been a long show, but it's been a fun show. Remember, disruptmeister.com. Over 1,300 of my shows are there. Yeah, I've been doing this a long time. First show was back in 2013. All right. Great. What is this? I want to read. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe I'll save this for next time because we're running out of time. All right. That one I'll save for next time. It is linked to below. I'll let it be a surprise. Doug Casey, though, he's got one of his classics out there. One of these 80%er clickbait type articles. He's promoting an altcoin guru and it's a total clickbait for gamblers here. What's it say? Bitcoin won't be the only winner of the crypto rally. Yeah, guys, Doug Casey's had said some good things in the past. He's been he's been waiting for gold to go to the moon since 1981. I guess he kind of realized that Bitcoin is living gold's dream, but he still gets caught up in these guru people who just recommend whatever altcoin they feel like it. I mean, there's nothing behind this stuff. So again, that title, don't get too excited about it. Bitcoin won't be the only winner of the crypto rally. No, it really will be over the long term there, Doug. It will be. And I know, Doug, you know about long term because, since 1981, gold, it hasn't been what you said it would be long term. All right. What is this famous thing? All right. And this might be, no, I'm going to skip. No, I can't skip this. Brad Sherman, the guy, his infamous speech. It was on May the 9th. Since then, Bitcoin has gone up almost 50% price surge. Is it a coincidence? Or did savvy investors say, you know what, government mildly thinking about banning Bitcoin, this ridiculous guy brings up something? This is what makes Bitcoin spike. This is what Bitcoin's all about. When something is made illegal, it goes up in value. Just ask the drug people. So yeah, you can click on that article. And finally, I wanted to give this guy is in motion. He's got a site, featheredindian.com. Welcome to the Feathered Indian Trading Post. Our mission is to fashionably spread fiat FUD. And he's got these hats that he's selling. And Roaring 20s gentleman's hat, genuine leather gentleman's hat with a beautiful handcrafted waterproof band made out of Venezuelan bolivars. The rise of Bitcoin during the 2020s is inevitable. There will be a new age of prosperity, and this is the hat for you while you enjoy it. So it looks like a hat from the 2020s, from the 1920s, but you wear it in the 2020s, and it's got a Venezuelan boulevard little band around it. It is hilarious. Go to the site. The dude is in motion. He does accept Bitcoin. Value your wealth in Bitcoin, though. So, you can pay him in cash, though, of course, too. Of course. And Web City up in Seattle says Bitcoinmeister is our guru. No, I'm not. I don't like that. I don't like the term guru. When I use guru, I say it's poking at the people a little bit. You got to be your own guru. You got to be your own guru. Do not blindly follow, the Maharishi like George Harrison and all those dudes did. All those dudes, they were called the Beatles. Pound that like button. Yeah, no, you don't need a guru. Be your own guru. I'm just the guy keeping everybody's hands strong and just showing it is leading by example, conviction, deferral of gratification. That's what it's all about. Great show yet again, Bitcoin Meister. Brian says, okay, we will add it with that. We will end it with that. Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you. everyone. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember, pound that like button. Share this video. Like this video. Bang that bell button. And yeah, click on those squares that you see right now if you're watching this tape. Tomorrow, This Week in Bitcoin at 10 a.m. In Los Angeles, 1 p.m. back in Baltimore, and 6 p.m. in London. See you guys then. Bye-bye.